That'll do it. So if you get a flat tire on your car, a lot of times it's just a nail or a screw or some sharp object that's penetrated the tire. And if it is not on the sidewall or too close to the edge, you can actually plug it with one of these, and it's pretty easy to do. I've taken it into the shop a few times and they've charged me 20 bucks to do this. This kit is, I think, $11, and once you have it, you can do several tires, and it's very satisfying to do it for yourself, so I'm gonna show you how to do it now. So if it's a slow leak and you see your tire pressure getting lower over a couple of days, it very well could be a nail, and that nail is actually holding the air in the tire still and just leaking ever so slightly. So you could go like this for a long time, but as soon as you're ready to fix it, just get one of these kits, and then you want to find the nail or the screw or whatever it is in your tire. Chris and I happened to be standing on my driveway one day, and I looked down and I saw it, and I knew exactly what it was because I had a slow leak going. But a couple of ways. I mean, you can get a flashlight and kind of look around it. I think maybe a really strong magnet going around the tire too might help you find it. I don't know, but this one is a flathead nail. You know, it's got a very round flat head, so it's pretty obvious and easy to see. So what we're gonna do is we are going to jack the car up, take the tire off, and then we'll use this kit to plug the hole. So let's start with jacking the car up. First of all, make sure you put your jack in the right spot. If you put it in a spot that is plastic or not meant to hold the weight of the car, that's not a good thing. So look online or look in the manual and figure out where the jack goes. One other important thing to note is with this vehicle, at least, there is a key that goes to the lug nuts. It's to keep people from stealing your wheels. And so if you have one, and in this case, the lug nut looks like that. They're all gonna look a little different. These are normal lug nuts. It'll come off with any lug wrench. This one has to have this little device that's in this zipper bag. So if you have those, make sure you have this because it really won't come off without it. One other tip that I've learned, and this just has to do with changing your tire more than anything, is if you start loosening the lug nuts before you jack it up, it's easier to do because the tire doesn't move at all because it's sitting on the ground. Once you jack it up, the tire can start spinning as you do the lug nut, and it's very hard to it's harder to get them off the tire. So I'm gonna go ahead and crack the seal, get them loose, and then I'll jack the car up and then I'll take them all the way off. This whole tire kit is very compact. This lug wrench is very compact, and I think you can actually use this in here for extra leverage, but hopefully I won't need to. So I'm just gonna put it on this one here, and it's gonna be, the first one is usually the hardest to get off, so I'm just gonna push till I crack it, and then I'm not gonna go any further, and I'm gonna go to skip one and go over here, because if you loosen both of these, then these will get tighter. All right, that's good. I'll do this one. Okay. At this point, they should just be finger tight, yep. So these two are still tight. We'll get this one, and then we'll get the key. And you kind of have to get it on there first. Line it up, there we go. And then it should be maybe just a tiny bit more difficult to get off, but not much more. There it goes. And you'll notice as you loosen some of them, the others might get tight because it's the tire's kind of moving a little bit. But now they're all started. I don't want to go any further until I've jacked the car up. I think this goes in like that, and then this goes like that. You're gonna go righty-tighty to tighten it and lift it up. And there we go. We already had it kind of close. Also, a very good idea before you do this to set your parking brake. We don't have to go super high, just high enough to get the tire maybe an inch off the ground. So now I'll take this back out and finish loosening these. There's the special one. Now see, the weight has caused this one to get tight again. Okay, here comes the tire. And then let's find the nail. There it is. This one's really obvious. And then I think I need a pair of needle nose pliers, maybe a flathead screwdriver to pry that out. Here we go, 1, 2, 3. That'll do it. So all these little kits are kind of similar. This is the Slime Deluxe tire plug. The one thing that I think you do want is to have these handles. Some of these are straight like a screwdriver and they don't have a handle, but this little handle grip really helps you get a good grip when you're doing the stuff. These are the plugs that will go in the tire and hold it. This is the auger that is used to kind of clear out the hole and make it the right diameter. Then this is the device that pushes the plug in and then pulls it out, that you pull out to leave the plug in. And then I believe this is a little bit of lubricant that helps the plug go in smoother, and might also be kind of a glue that holds it in place, you know, bonds it in there. I've done it without this before and it worked fine, but I'm going to use it this time since I have it. First of all, take the auger, the one that's kind of like a drill bit, and I'm going to put it in there. And again, this is to get the hole the right size. So put it in, twist it, get it all the way down there. Okay. Yeah, and you can see I'm making the hole actually a little bit bigger, but that's so that it's the right size for the plug. I know they don't want you. You're not supposed to do this if it's on the edge. You're not supposed to do it, or too close to the edge. I don't know if this is too close. We're going to find out. Yeah, I think you want it to where it'll kind of slide in and out. So now we're going to take one of these plugs, and it seems like maybe these are a little thicker and a little shorter. These are a little thinner and a little longer. I feel like the thinner one's going to be the way to go here because that hole is kind of small. So you'll actually put the plug through this little gap till it's halfway. It's a little tight. Now this might be a good place for the pliers. If you need the pliers, you can use them to pull it. And you can see there's like a little opening on the bottom. So when I pull up, the plug's going to come out. So I'm going to push in, it's going to go like that, and then I'm going to pull up and it's going to come out because I'm going to pull really fast. Okay. And then I'm going to take this, I'm going to push it in. Okay. And then I'm going to pull this up really fast and hope it stays. Hey, it did. Now we should be able to put air in the tire and it should seal. And then you just clip these off with some clippers. And that should be it. But before we cut it off, I'm going to go ahead and fill up the tire. And I am going to use the Etenwolf pump. I love this pump. I really, really do love this pump. This pump has been such a lifesaver for bikes, e-bikes, and even this car when it's been going through this slow leak issue. I've had it in my car. It's battery powered, so I've been able to just use it to keep the tire from going completely flat. I will set it to, I think these are supposed to be set to 31 for the tire pressure. I'm just amazed this little thing can actually force air into this tire at such a great rate. I mean, how is this little tiny battery powered thing doing that? Nice. All right. Okay, the last step is drink a beer. No, soapy water to test and see if there's any leaks. We're gonna take these scissors and just cut these guys off as close to the base as we can. There we go. And then pour a little soapy water there and see if we get any bubbles. You see any bubbles? All right. We didn't see any leaks. We cut it as close as we could. So now we just put the tire back on. Here's my opinion on this. When you're putting the lug nuts back on, I would go ahead and get them hand tight right now, or you know, as tight as you can, just right here. And then I would set it to where not all the weight is on it, but it is touching the ground so that it won't move, and then I'll tighten it down all the way. Because I think if I hand tighten and then put it all the way on the ground, it might be hard to get them actually really tight because it might be sitting at a very slight angle. So right now I'll just hand tighten these. And the bottom ones, the tire's going to want to stick out a little bit, so you're just going to hold it in. Get that one in there pretty good. All right, now I'll just take this guy and tighten them as much as I can.
until the tire starts spinning, which I think it will here in a second. Yeah, you see how it's doing that. So what I want to do is get them all to that point, and then I'll set the jack, lower the jack to where the ground stops the tire from spinning, but the tire's not holding all the weight. It's just holding enough to keep it from spinning. You see that's going to keep happening.
Oops. Let's see if now that tire doesn't spin. Oh yeah, now it's locked. So actually now I could tighten the tire down before I lower it.
Oh, okay.
So if you have your parking brake on, your wheel won't spin.
So you can go ahead and tighten down your tire before you lower it to the ground. Otherwise, if you don't have your parking brake on, it's going to spin while it's off the ground.
Now we're just going to lower the car.
Like this.
All right, and that's how it's done. I'm going to keep an eye on this and make sure that it's not leaking anymore. But based on the soapy water test, it didn't seem to be. And I've done this once before, and that tire is still going strong after several months. So I think this should be as well. So I had the spare tire out anyway, and we didn't have to use it because we were able to fix that one. But since we have it out, I'm going to go ahead and just make sure it is at the recommended 60 psi. So I'm glad we checked, because my spare was at about 35 psi and it's recommended to be at 60 psi. So now if I have a flat and I have to put the spare on, at least I know it's inflated properly. Oh, now he's going. Look at that. He's finally decided to man up. Well, I started it again, but it looks like he's in there cutting the parts that need cutting. Sort of. Good job, goat.